guys. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. It really means a lot to me. And before we get started, I just want to say a big thank you for all of the kind comments that I've been getting. A lot of you have been very, very sweet and have left very encouraging and kind remarks in the comments. And I just wanted to say that I see them and I appreciate them a lot, and it's very, very sweet of you all. So thank you. Today we are going to do a little video talking about the movies that I've seen in May and June. So far in June. June is not over, but we'll talk about the movies that I watched in May and so far in June. So, my hair is wet, because I just got out of the shower. I'm gonna take a little sip of water because my mouth is a little bit dry. I just got back from the gym. It's very, very, very hot here. I mean, it's like 100 degrees and humid, which I don't mind it being hot when it's dry heat, but the humidity, that's what'll get ya. I sound like an old person. It's not the heat you gotta watch out for, it's that humidity. But it's true. But that's okay, we are nicely tucked away inside. We can discuss movies, and it's all good. Also, if you enjoy the video, feel free to subscribe. Like and subscribe, guys. If you feel like you would like to. And also feel free to leave comments for videos that you would like to see. I do try and do requests. So, let's get started here. So, I haven't watched as many movies because, as I said in my last video, I've had a concussion. I haven't been able to watch movies. I am a film student, so I feel as though, well, I haven't watched many movies, like in general. I didn't grow up watching movies. We didn't really watch movies in my house. So I haven't seen many, like, famous movies. So I've kind of made it my mission to try and expand my movie knowledge. So, like, I haven't watched too many classics. I've just kind of been watching what seems interesting to me. But I try to expand, I intentionally watch movies. And I also intentionally watch movies because I feel like it's better for my attention span. Because, I don't know, like, a movie is a commitment to me. Like, it's like I have to figure out what I want to watch, and I have to sit down and I go, I'm gonna watch a movie. And I have to commit to that. So I feel like it's better than just like scrolling on YouTube for the same amount of time, if that makes sense. All that to say, in May, I only watched two movies. Only two. One was on a plane and one was in a hotel. So, I'm gonna do a video, a story time, because I rafted the Grand Canyon. I rafted down the middle of it in the Colorado River. And it was quite the ordeal. I loved it. And it's also the hardest thing I've ever done. And I was severely underprepared. But all this to say, I'm very rambly today. All this to say, on the plane ride there, it was a long flight. So I watched the movie Coraline. I did not watch this movie as a child. And I've heard a lot of people say a lot of, like, good things about it. Like, it's a movie that's referenced a lot. I feel like a lot of people talk about it and will be like, oh, I, like, remember and love this movie from my childhood, or a children's movie. That was really scary for a children's movie. So I've seen a lot of talk about it. And I'd started it on a plane ride a while back, and I got disinterested and didn't finish it. So I was like, I'm gonna watch it for reals. So I did watch it. And I thought it was fine. I was not impressed on Letterboxd. I rated it a 2.5 stars. So right in the middle of the road. And this is not to come at anyone who might love this movie at all. It was an interesting movie, and it was certainly better than a lot of children's movies, especially children's movies nowadays are just churning out the content for some of it. But I thought it was good, but I was not wow, I was and it was definitely a little spooky. So yeah, I was okay. Now, the next movie that I watched was Stand By Me. It came out in 1986, and it is based off of Stephen King's novella, The Body. So, I really enjoy Stephen King. I don't usually like the movie adaptations of his work. Usually I do not like them. For example, I have beef with The Shining. As someone who has read the book and seen the movie, I've got beef with The Shining. But I was like, this looks really interesting, I'll give it a shot. And I have read the novella, which is The Body. And this adaptation actually followed the story very, very closely. It was very, very accurate to the novella, which I really liked. And I watched this the night before I went to leave for my trip. So I was in Flagstaff, Arizona, and in the hotel after my orientation meeting that night I watched this movie. So there's definitely, I think, a little bit of for me, I find that the headspace I'm in and physically where I am when I watch a movie has a major impact on how I feel about the movie. And I'll admit that, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll admit it. It's kind of nostalgia, but not, if you know what I mean. Sometimes you'll be nostalgic for movies and you'll be I'm like that, but even in the present. So, that I think contributed. But I really loved this movie. I thought that it was really compelling. And it just felt very raw and very slice of life. And I just loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. One thing about me too is that I love stories that involve a physical journey. So any story that takes place in a hotel or in a motel, or my favorite genre is people on the road, those kinds of stories. That's my favorite genre. So in this story, it's about a group of 4 boys who make this journey to go see a dead body. I know, a little crazy. Basically, one of the boys overhears his older brothers talking about how they found the body of a child. As I'm saying this, I'm realizing how incredibly dark it is. So, okay, well, so they go it's a group of boys, maybe 11 or 12 this journey to get there, and it takes like a day and a half. And, more stuff ensues. And, it's definitely a sad movie. It's definitely a sad movie, but I thought it was really beautiful. And mild spoiler alert, I guess. I don't know, personally, I see a lot of gay themes, and I think that the way that they played with that is really interesting. Like the relationship of the main character with another one of the boys. It's not like by any means like you can like interpret it how you will, but I don't know, I think that it's like an interesting discussion of childhood and childhood relationships, and like when you're young and you feel a connection with someone that goes past normal friendship, but that you can't describe and you don't know what it is. So, I believe I wrote a review for this one on Letterboxd. So, yeah. I'd wanted to see this movie for a long time, and I kept not having the time, and I was like, I want to have the time where I could just go to the theater and sit down and experience this. That movie is Challengers, which is, you may have heard of it. If you are in the movie sector, you probably have. It's with Zendaya, and Mike Feist, and another guy who I don't know. And it's about tennis. It was one of those movies where I left the theater being like, maybe I should play tennis. It's basically about Zendaya's relationship with these two boys, like throughout their lives and college and all of that. And like their relationship with the sport of tennis. Now, I was really excited for this movie because it's directed by Luca Guadagnino. And he is also the director of Call Me By Your Name and Bones and All. I really enjoy Call Me By Your Name. I'm basic like that. I hate to say it. I hate to be that person. But I did enjoy Call Me By Your Name and the cinematography and the score. I have the score. And also, I really hate to say this, as a child, I was definitely one of those people who was like, I'm not like other people. I have unique opinions. I don't like what's popular. But I will say, Timothée Chalamet, he's such a good actor. Like, I'm an actor. And I'm just very impressed with his acting capabilities, especially the ending scene of that movie, where the credits are rolling. Just really, like, I think he's a really wonderful actor. So I really enjoy stuff that he's in. I haven't seen Wonka. I don't know if I will. I don't know if I'm that much of a fan of him that I will go see that movie. But I was excited because it's by Luca Guadagnino. And I did not watch Bones and All, but like, I tried to watch Bones and All. It's about, I can't get demonetized. I'm not monetized. I'll say what I want. It's about cannibals. And it was just too much for me. I was like, I can't. It was just too graphic and too, just too much. But I think he's a very interesting director with a very interesting point of view, so I was excited. And I thought it was pretty good. It was one of those movies where the ending, I felt like it didn't live up to the movie, if that makes sense. I thought that the ending was disappointing and a little bit like, just thought that it was not a strong ending. And also just like, honestly, like the last quarter of the movie, I was just kind of like, okay. But very interesting to learn that Mike Feist, who was the original Connor Murphy on Broadway, was in this movie. I was looking him up and I was like, that name seems familiar, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Connor from Dear Evan Hansen. So that was interesting. Anyways, I need to speed this up. This video is going really long. But the next movie is No Country for Old Men. No Country for Old Men. No Country for Old Men. I actually really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really good. It's basically about this guy who stumbles upon like a drug deal gone wrong out in like the West, and everyone's dead, and he takes the money. So this other guy goes and hunts him down and like chases him trying to get the money. It's like him running from this guy. This is a classic that fits into my theme of loving movies about people on the run. But I really liked it. Spoiler alert, if you want to watch this movie, click off now. It did come out in 2007, so you've had an ample amount of time, but still. The main character in this movie, also sorry, you might be able to hear my cat. She just made a noise. She tends to do that. She's very talkative. But the main character just randomly dies. Like, the whole movie is him trying not to die. And then he just randomly dies. Like, you don't even see it happen. And I know that there's probably some deep meaning for that, and it's like really meaningful, and it's like, well, you don't see him die because it's like really the point of the movie is that, like, you know, we never know what'll, like, something really deep and like film bro-y, and like I get that, but at the same time it's just like all of a sudden he's like dead, and you're like, there's still half an hour left in this movie, why did the main character just die? So that was a little weird, but overall I still really liked it, and I gave it a 4-star rating. The next movie that I watched is Gone Baby Gone. Gone Baby Gone. And that is with, I can't remember his name. That was the kitty making a guest appearance. She owns this place and she knows it. Anyways, it has Ben Affleck. It's either Ben Affleck or Casey Affleck, and I can't remember which one, but I think it's Ben, so that's what we're gonna go with. And it was really interesting. It's like one of those movies with like a twist. Overall, I enjoyed it. I also rated that one 4 stars. It was nothing like, oh my gosh, like this movie has like changed my life. But I was enraptured, and that's something that is hard to find for me. Like, I put it on and I watched it all the way through, and like I just was able to like completely focus on it, and like having that nice bit of like escape really brings a rating of a movie up for me. That movie also came out in 2007. Next up, the next film is more of it's a feature film. But I watched the feature film We're All Going to the World's Fair. We're all going to the World's Fair. And it's basically a feature film project about this like young girl. I think she's like 13. And she gets involved in one of those like there's a name for it that I'm blanking on, but it's like online horror role-playing games. But she takes it seriously. And like, she posts videos being like, oh my gosh, like I'm doing this challenge, and like, remembers what's happening or something, and then she starts corresponding with this stranger on the internet who's like guiding her through the challenges. So I liked this movie, but if I'm being completely honest, I think that they could have done more with the concept. In my understanding, this is a feature film. I think it might have been made by like students. That could be totally wrong, but it was not like a high budget film by any means, and I think they did great. I think it's an amazing feature film, and at the same time, I just wanted more, and I felt like the concept could have been taken in a different direction that would have been a lot more interesting. Like, they kind of chose to focus on the aspect of a relationship with this stranger. So it felt like it wasn't as much about the online horror RPG as it was like her getting attached to this stranger. And I guess that wasn't the direction that I was expecting or hoping for. And finally, the most recent movie that I've watched, which is Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio. I watched this movie 3 days ago, and I liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was cute. I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. I thought it was sad. I thought it was a lot of different things. And also, I've never, of course we all know Leonardo DiCaprio is problematic. We all know that. But people, always talk about how Leonardo DiCaprio used to be a heartthrob, and I've never really got it. But towards the end of the movie, when he had like long hair, I thought, I was like, okay, like I get how he achieved this teen heartthrob status, I guess. So, but those were the movies that I've watched so far in June and in May. So, if you would like more movie talk, please let me know. Leave a little comment and say that you would like more movie talk. If you have any other video ideas, feel free to drop them below. And, yeah, I think that's it for this video, guys. I know it was definitely a little scattered and rambly. But I hope that it was enjoyable and that you feel well rested. Thank you again for coming to my channel. Please subscribe if you feel that that is appropriate and you would like to see more. And I will see you all